God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Mountaintop moments in our lives are usually pretty fleeting. They come and go almost before we can capture them. There have been times when I've seen something, so beautiful out in nature, and you just kind of try to take a picture with your eyes. Now that we have our phones, we take a picture with our phones too. But it doesn't capture it, and you can never quite hold on to that experience. Even things like, think about Christmas morning, how wonderful that is, and how you just want to capture that feeling of that. Or a wedding of your own, of someone else's, that those moments when they're just so overwhelming, there's almost no way you can take it all in, and then you're past it. That sunrise on the beach, the moonrise, the sunsets, things like that, you're conscious of it, and then it's gone, because we human beings move on pretty quickly. Life moves on pretty quickly. And spiritual mountaintop experiences can be the same way, very fleeting, very quick. You want to hold on to it, and it's over, and it's done. And almost, probably in both cases, as soon as you realize it's one of those moments, it appears to be gone and moves on. And then your mind has engaged, and you're back to the races. And it's a moment when I would say a spiritual mountaintop, and you could all tell me about times that you felt this way. Just a moment of peace, a moment of focus, a moment of love, and a moment when things seem to come together just right, in the right time, and the right place. That's how I would describe it. I think everyone would have their own description about that, what that kind of experience is like for you. But for me, it's that sense of peaceful focus, I think. Today we come to the last Sunday of Epiphany, and so it's actually the 8th Sunday of Epiphany. We've had a very long season of Epiphany, but the last Sunday of Epiphany, which started back after Christmas, is always the Transfiguration. It doesn't matter whether we have 3 Sundays of Epiphany or 9, it's always the story of the Transfiguration of Jesus on the mountain. And one of the interesting things about this is that all of the Gospels tell the story almost the same way, and that's rare. So in biblical circles, that really speaks very well for the fact that this really did happen, because they all pretty much wrote it down and told the story the same way. And the disciples get it all in this moment. They get the prophets, they get Moses and Elijah coming to them. They get the cloud, which harkens back to them, Jesus' presence in the desert and in the wilderness. The voice of God, the shining face of Jesus, everything from their whole religious experience comes together in that moment, in that mountaintop. After all this time with Jesus, where they've gotten glimpses, where they've seen him heal, where they've listened to his stories and his messages, this moment is when it just all comes together for them. And they know, without a shadow of a doubt, that this is where they're supposed to be. Jesus is who he says he is, and God is present. And so they want to stay. Of course, who would blame them? They want to hold on to that, because they finally, without a doubt, get it. And life is like this for all of us, I think. When we have those moments, we want to hold on to them. We don't want to let them go. That great moment when you're sitting at the table, you look around and many of the people you love are there, and you just want to hold on to it. And then it goes by. I don't personally look forward to Lent generally, and some of you have heard me say that. It's not my favorite season of the year for lots of reasons, but I think that part of it is facing the pain of walking with Jesus towards the cross. I think that after the whole year of walking with him, of studying him, of praying with him, of preaching on his words, that now when we turn towards the cross, it's kind of like, oh, right, we have to go and do that too. That pain of facing the loss and facing the abandonment that Jesus faced in the end, the struggle, the sacrifice, all of those things after all these months, it's not pretty. And I think I kind of recoil from it and don't really want to go there. But in this last Sunday of Epiphany, we're given this glimpse of God's glory. We're given this look into the peacefulness and single-mindedness and what those moments can be. And for me, praying about this morning really helped me to think back on those moments when I have felt God's presence, and those moments when the personal moments of beauty in nature and with family and with others. So I think we can be given kind of a little boost before we go into Lent. A little boost to show us that although we would like to stay here in Epiphany experiencing all these wonderful stories of God's glory shown to the world, although we would like to keep Jesus safe, although we'd like to keep God safe, that's not up to us. And we can't do that. So we now turn our eyes to the cross, and we go with Jesus to the cross, and we see that even there, God is present. So through the course of Lent, I hope that we can see that even in struggle and sacrifice and pain and suffering, God is present throughout the entire time. And we can think about that for our own lives when we hit those patches of struggle and sacrifice. Our own mountaintop experiences do stay with us, and they help us, but we can forget about them. So I think it's good for you all I hope this is stirring up memories for you of moments when you've had that sense of peace and that sense of God's love. As I said, mine have been in nature, guided meditation when I've gotten a word from Jesus of love and encouragement. And for me, it's always that singleness of mind, that peaceful feeling. One Sunday when I think just before I was ordained, at the back of a church singing hymn 460, which we'll sing later on, Alleluia, Sing to Jesus, and knowing that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. And believe me, that doesn't happen often in my life. Because right away, you come right back down that mountain, and the double-mindedness is back. The doubts are back. The second thoughts and the second guessing is back. But if we can at least look back on our lives and hold on and remember those moments when we did feel that peace and love of God, it can sustain us even through the 6 weeks of Lent. So today's good news is that Jesus did not send the disciples back alone. He went down that mountain with them. He didn't say, okay, I'm staying up here with Moses and Elijah, and God and I are going to have a conversation, and I'll be there in a while. No, he went right back down with them. And as they fell on the ground in fear, what does Jesus do? He didn't say, oh, come on, you haven't figured this out yet? He went over to them and touched them. That human touch. The whole majesty of God that was present just a few seconds ago is now manifest in that human touch. And he says to them, do not be afraid. Come on, we're going back. Get up. Get up. Don't be afraid. I'm here. And how often in that touch that someone gives you at just the right time, do you feel that presence of God? Maybe you haven't told yourself that's what it is, but how often has that touch just gotten you up and moving again? Don't ever underestimate just reaching out. and giving that human touch to another person. Get up, don't be afraid. Move forward, I am with you. I will walk with you always. You don't need to stay here because I'll be with you down there. We're on our way. Bishop Michael Curry says that our help is needed to transform the world from the nightmare it has become for so many to the dream that God wants it to be for all God's people. So if we stay up on the mountaintop with Jesus, we're not going to have any chance of doing that, are we? We're needed down in the world. And don't ever forget that Jesus is down there with us. We're not out there on our own. We're sent out 2 by 2. We're sent out with the power of God. We're sent out with the presence of Jesus, with him telling us, do not be afraid. I'm with you. I will be there. So on Wednesday, we will begin together on Ash Wednesday our walk towards the cross. We can and we will begin that journey because he will be with us, because we will walk with him and he will walk with us. And in those moments when it feels too much, we will remember these moments of transcendence, these moments when we have felt the touch of God, when we have felt the presence of God, when we have known without a doubt that God is with us, so that we can walk with him and that we can help him to transform this world, because he can't do it alone. He brought us down the mountain with him, and there we will be, there we will stay, and there we will do our work. Amen.
Amen.